we'll just start, and yeah, if it sucks, then we'll just do another one. Hey everybody, welcome to the Sanctus Forum. I am Michael Stewart Robb. That's me, better known as Mike, and this is not the conspiracy commentaries. We are not doing that anymore. I'm not going to throw this. I'll just set it down nicely. This is Pensées. And if you've never listened to Pensées before, last year I did, 15 of them or something like that. And this is the very first one of this year. So woohoo! I wanted to do it all year, but there's only so much time to do videos of this sort. Now in Pensées we do books and everyday spirituality. I don't really talk about any spirituality other than Western spirituality because I just don't know much about them. One of the things about Western spirituality that's not maybe the most exciting part of it, especially to outsiders, is this idea of evangelism and mission. And I get that. It's sort of like the dark side of Western spirituality, the shadow side of Western spirituality. We don't really tell people who are asking about Jesus, oh yeah, and then there's this great thing too that you get to evangelize, you get to go do missionary stuff and all of that, because that's what Jesus is about. If you're looking at something, you want to kind of know everything about it. You don't want evangelism or mission or whatever we want to call this to be kind of just in the fine print, sort of this rider that you only find out about once it's too late. I just thought I should do some videos about it. This will be the first, and then there'll be more. And if you're interested in listening along, hearing what I have to say, then make sure you have subscribed, or even better, go over to our website, Sanctus Institute, and sign up for that almost monthly newsletter. I just want to put everything on the table and explain a little bit about how I think about this or have come to terms with this, because I admit that evangelism hasn't been my favorite aspect of being a friend of Jesus, and frankly, that's because I just haven't understood it very well. I don't know if you realize, as a sort of general comment to begin with, how much evangelism just happens all the time in our world. We live in a world where people are constantly sharing with each other what the good life is and who has the good life. And there's not as much talk about how you might have the good life, though there's plenty of that as well. But usually it's like, become like these people and then you'll also have it. And you do kind of get the impression when there's a bit of pushback towards evangelism and mission and those words, that everybody else can do it. We kind of want lots of it happening, but just not evangelism from Jesus's people, which is strange. And I think Jesus's people, even the most zealous people who do evangelism, probably do not do it nearly as much as other groups and individuals who are constantly trying to give us their opinion about what's good and what's bad, and how you can have what's good or what's bad. I mean, just to sort of what people wear on their shirts, just trying to tell other people, hey, I've got something that you could maybe have, or maybe I've got something that you can have, and therefore I've got the good life and you don't. And what I just did there is a tu quoque. In other words, I said, hey, look, Jesus' spirituality has evangelism and mission, but so do a whole bunch of other groups and religions and businesses and individuals, and so we just fit right in. Now, that doesn't exactly excuse Jesus' spirituality or explain the shadow side of Jesus' spirituality, and that's why it's not really something I'm going to do much more with than just make an observation of, like, this is common, so let's look into it. But there's a certain sense that evangelism and mission doesn't really fit well with Jesus' spirituality. And the reason for that is that it doesn't. When churches or individuals start to evangelize like a business or like a lobbyist or like another religion or like a charity or some sort of cause, it isn't congruent. And congruent is just a fancy word for it. Just doesn't fit. So what this means is that there are ways of doing evangelism or mission that are not native to Jesus and to Western spirituality. They conflict with who he is and what his spirituality is. They may be native to other ways of thinking, other philosophies, other spiritualities, but they aren't, they don't connect well. They're incongruent with Jesus and what he came to be about, Western spirituality. Now, you will find that there are some churches and some individuals who do way more evangelism and mission than really they should. And I know I'm going to step on some toes here, but evangelism, mission is not the primary thing that Jesus is about or that Western spirituality is about. The church should not be entirely devoted to evangelism. So put that in your pipe and smoke it. And yet, it is still something that you can't take out of your pipe and not smoke. That's a really stupid. I want to say this thing that I keep messing it up and not saying it. We've got people that are doing things kind of in the wrong way, doing evangelism in the wrong way. And then we have people who are making evangelism or mission or whatever you call it the primary thing. And we can say, okay, that's not really what Jesus is after. And yet still evangelism is connected with Western spirituality. It's not something that we can just sort of say, well, maybe we'll have it, maybe we won't. And that's what I want to explore in these videos. So, do subscribe and check on back. I'm going to be putting them up, as often as I can. And I would like to know, perhaps you can tell me in the comments or in an email, info@sanctus.institute, how you understand and would perhaps describe to others this shadow side of Jesus' spirituality. How would you explain to them, to somebody else, if they were wondering, what's good about this? And is it really something that just doesn't fit well with Jesus, and yet people do it anyway or do it way too much? So I will see you in the next chapter. I'm not going to point. And actually, it sounds really stupid for me to say that. So I'll just say bye. See ya.